Some young children, usually between the ages of 2 and 5, say that they have been here before. They can show behaviours such as phobias or preferences that are unusual within the context of their particular family and cannot be explained by any current life events. They give various details about previous lives and even the name of that person. They often describe the way they died. There have been occasions where the families went to the places the child named and found that the person and the past events were indeed true. When Evan Michael was just a young boy, he started to write down the Russian alphabet. But his parents were not Russian. He had never been to Russia, and he had no Russian heritage whatsoever. So how did he know the Russian alphabet? His mother, Dana Michael, had no idea where he learned it, and it made no sense. As Evan got older, he started to get nightmares, and over a period of time, they became more frequent and more vivid. In the dreams, he told his mother that he was a Russian soldier and he was fighting the Germans. He said that his job was to take people out with a rifle and believed that he was a sniper because in the dream he was always holding a rifle. After his many vivid descriptions, his mother figured there was a lot more going on as his dreams coincided with his ability as a young boy to write the Russian alphabet. As Evan described his dreams, he would become distraught, saying that he did not want to kill anyone, but he had to, and had trouble coming to terms with what he had to do. He would describe the anguish, horror, dread, and constant fear. There is a scene where he is on his deathbed, and he is being visited by a friend, and there is a woman, who he assumes is his daughter, holding his hand as he died. He believed he had died due to a problem with his lungs. For a young boy, the scene was fairly intense, along with his thoughts and emotions that were going through his mind as he was laying there on his deathbed. As he was dying, he had thoughts of his family, and it was sad saying goodbye to them, and it made him cry. His mother was so concerned about Evan's nightmares that she decided to take him to a counsellor, and after a few sessions they felt they were not particularly helpful. But one thing they did say intrigued her, as they claimed he appeared to be suffering from PTSD. This is a common affliction suffered by soldiers in war, but her son had never had any severe trauma in his life, so where was this coming from? Could it be that his son was describing a past life that was affecting him in this life? His parents started researching details their son was telling them in his dreams and came upon a well-known Russian sharpshooter named Ivan Mikhail Sidorenko. Apparently, he was one of the best sharpshooters in Russia, and when Evan saw his picture, he felt a strong connection with the man, and they even had similar looks, especially when he looked into his eyes, where he really felt something. As they looked into further details about the man's military career, they seemed to match up with Evan's dreams. In 1944, Ivan Sidorenko was awarded the Hero of the Soviet Union, which was an extremely high and prestigious award. Ivan Sidorenko had fought in the Battle of Moscow, and a lot of the details about the Battle of Moscow were revealed in Evan's dreams. After more research, the family believed that their son could have been Ivan Sidorenko, and the weirdest of coincidences was that they even had similar names, Evan Michael and Ivan Mikhailovich, which totally floored his mother. As Evan entered into his teenage years, he continued to have nightmares, but not as frequent, but still had flashbacks and anxiety. Now older, Evan truly believed that he had lived the life of a Russian soldier during World War II, and his name was Ivan Michael Sidorenko, and his dreams always took place during World War II on the Eastern Front between the Germans and the USSR around 1941 and 1942. In one dream, he was crawling through a trench and there was a machine gun fire and bombs exploding, and everything was incredibly loud. He said it was himself, 2 other men and 1 girl. He could see a large old factory in the distance, which he believed was their destination. They went there, and as soon as they entered, they felt safe. He remembers a man approaching him, and he was wearing a cap, and he put his hand on his shoulder saying, "Ivan, go up there." He was saying something like, "Davai, Makizmo," or something like that, and pointed to the ceiling. As soon as he climbed up there, he could see some German tanks coming towards them. He thought, oh boy, and knew right away that they wanted him to do something, like pick them off or something, and remembers thinking, that's it, holy crap, it's pretty much up to me to defend it. If he didn't, then they were all dead. Ivan said that it was a particularly terrifying dream. A psychotherapist by the name of Michelle Rubin came to visit Evan and his mother in Springfield, Missouri. His mother told the therapist that her son had had memories since he was a little boy of being a Russian sniper in World War II, which had caused him a lot of stress. She decided to work with Evan to help him overcome his frightening dreams, which Evan still found frightening. By this stage, Evan was about 15 years old, and she asked him how it affects his life now. Evan said that he still has the dreams, and although they were not as prevalent as before, he still has them, and they're still lurking around. He told the therapist that a counsellor had told his mother that his symptoms were similar to that of someone suffering from PTSD. They suggested he should go to a psychiatrist and that a pill might make him better. But a pill might not help get to the root of the problem. They did not believe that many psychiatrists would say, "Let's check out this past life thing." Evan told her that he'd read about how some souls need to keep coming back to Earth to experience every angle, where sometimes you're the victim and sometimes you're the perpetrator. Sometimes you're madly in love and some you're alone. That you have to come into many different lifetimes to gather all of that knowledge. It's not that someone's evil and someone's good. You're not going to be judged in that life if you killed someone in a war. And even if you were good at it, it doesn't mean you're a bad spirit or soul, and it was just that one lesson in that one life. Evan asked whether the dreams would ever just stop one day and be gone, and he would not have to ever worry about them again, or are they always going to be there? She said that he needed to work on it, to clear it, and only access it for different reasons if he wanted. Ivan feared they would keep going. She said it would probably be slow to go downhill, which helped allay Evan's fears. The therapist did not think Evan's past life in Russia as a sniper is something he has to get over per se, but gave him a couple of books and a worksheet that went with a CD that would really help him get more knowledge about the subject. Then he could look at it from the big picture perspective and not be so focused on the specific things that happened in this one lifetime for him. She believed he would get better and eventually move forward. The discussion gave Evan a better sense of direction or where he should go in his life from that point, and was glad that he was able to talk with Michelle to help him move forward.